you will see that this is what we're finding out, and some of the great benefits that we're finding out from going with Verisk, and what we are seeing taking place already, and what we hope to see as we move forward in the months and years to come, right? So, as I told you at the beginning, one of the things that we wanted the ability to uh, to improve or increase our effectiveness. So one of the first things that became clear to us is right now we have analysts that help our investigators with their cases, and they do a lot of the background work, and they do the research on who the individuals are, who are they linked to, who do they belong to, and what you would expect. Um, we also have staff that was responsible for taking all the information that we got on the referrals and entering it into our system, and then going ahead and doing research on it. And although we had access to ISO and other databases, our analysts were being forced to go into a system and look at everything one item at a time, and just kind of work their way up the chain to develop as much information as they could. So if they were looking at Simon Blank, they would look at me, pull my name, find a vehicle, find an address, and then they would have to go look at my vehicle, find out how many accidents I had involved, then look and open up each accident, and so on and so forth. It took a lot of time not only to enter the information, to verify its accuracy, but then also to do a lot of the research. By getting with Verisk, we were able to save all that time. The system is now importing the data straight into our system. So our analysts, our WIPSOs, are no longer having to enter the data. What they can do is just sit back and then go into it and just verify the accuracy, which doesn't take half the time that it used to before. And when we are researching stuff, our analysts no longer have to go one step at a time, but when they use the system, they're able to pull Simon Blank, and the system will return everything to them at once. So they're able to see all the vehicles that Simon Blank owns, all the homes, all the different claims that Simon has ever filed, whether they're auto, homeowners, slip and falls, whatever the case might be, all the people that I'm linked to, the locations, the different items, phone numbers, and everything else. And so they get a holistic view of the schemes, and they get a holistic view of who the complaint is on and who they are linked to, and so on and so forth. So it increases our effectiveness and our ability to gather the information, analyze information, and spot the true culprits tenfold. It's a huge improvement for us. So not only that, but the amount of information that our system is getting is much greater. So our own internal data system is improving, which is helping us improve our accuracy. It's just helping us improve our ability to link into other associates. Like I said earlier, it's allowing us to do a much better job of spotting the significant players operating in our state. So we're not wasting our time going after the low-hanging fruit, but we can go after the real people pulling the strings behind the scenes and organizing and creating these criminal enterprises that we should be really focusing on. And it allows us to look for and make those connections on the different kinds of crimes that are taking place and the different jurisdictions. So like I was telling you at the beginning, if you look Simon Blank on this referral, up until now, we've pretty much focused on the complaint that we got and that individual offense or instance. Now, by going and having access to everything that's in the system and being able to use some of the analytical programs that Verisk has, we're able to look at that initial complaint, but everything that is linked to that complaint and all the different parties that are associated to it. And so cases where in the past we might have closed because we didn't think we had enough evidence, or we didn't think it was significant enough at that moment to pay attention to that case because we had other cases that were bigger or more pressing, we are now able to look past behind the initial assessment and see if there's greater connections, or if that case is connected to other things or other trends that we're already paying attention to or we should be paying attention to. So our ability to focus our resources is improving drastically as we go forward. The system is also allowing us to create our own red flags. And so we already know what worked for us, and our supervisors, when they review complaints as they come in, already know what they're going to need to be able to make a good criminal case, or whether we can even make a criminal case on a complaint. But the system now is able to automatically look at the information that's coming in, look at the links, look at the evidence or supporting documents that are being submitted with it, work under the parameters that we are specifying, and give us a rating system or red flags or a scoring system. And so we are now able to quickly make an assessment on whether a referral that's coming in is worthy of our attention, whether it's got enough supporting documentation, evidence, or elements, I guess, that are critical for us and that would help us make a good case. And not only does it do that right away, but as we continue to use it and our people become better at using it, we are fine-tuning those parameters, and the system is becoming better at making those determinations for us. It takes some work. Your people have to put the time in, and you have to give it some thought, because it is geared towards you and your agency. But if you do that at the front end, it will pay great dividends as you go forward.